The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
This is the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister and co-host, Vetta.
Hi, guys.
Hey, you. How you doing?
Good.
That's good. And on this episode, we have a special guest, and that is Cait The Great. Cait, how you doing from the 8750 podcast?
Hello. Thanks for having me back after the abysmal movie I picked last time.
That's okay. That's okay. It was a fun time. It was a fun time. Speaking of which, on this episode, we are going to be reviewing the movie 13 Going on 30, which I don't know about you ladies, but absolutely love. Okay. So, but before we get started, we are going to ask the most important question of the night, and that is, what are you drinking? And we'll start with our guest, Cait. Cait, what are you drinking?
I got the orange JMO and then I mixed it with ginger beer. So kind of like a Moscow Mule with
Is it
whiskey.
good? Is it good?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Nice,
I like it.
nice. Vetta, what are you drinking?
So I made an appletini because
I almost made an appletini. Okay, go ahead.
Lucy drinks it at the party. And then my backup is I have a dirty soda that I
looks
added vodka
looks like
to it. Well,
duty
it's
water.
it's cherry
It looks
Coke,
dirty.
cream, vanilla, and then vodka. It's pretty tasty.
Right
Okay.
on, right on. Okay, so I'm having a pina colada because she also drinks that at the party or whatever, and that is just it's pineapple juice, a cream of coconut, and then white rum. But I did put some dark rum in there too. So, all right, you guys. So let's get started on reviewing 13 Going on 30. A girl who's sick of the social structures of junior high is transformed into a grown-up overnight. In this feel-good fairy tale, teenager Jenna wants a boyfriend, and when she's able to find one, she fantasizes about being a well-adjusted adult. Suddenly, her secret desire becomes reality, and she is transformed into a 30-year-old. But adulthood, with its own set of male-female challenges, isn't as easy as it looks. Oh, tell me about it, sister.
For
Okay,
real.
so I don't know about you guys, but just real quick, overall, what'd you think about this movie? Like, Cait, what did you think?
I love this movie. I think it's kind of like one of those classics that you rewatch every now and then. You
Mm-hmm.
revisit.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't watched it in a couple of years, but every time, when scenes will pop up on like
Yep.
Facebook Shorts,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, I love that movie. Oh yeah, I love that movie. So when you said, hey, let's do one with a dance number in it, I was like, 13 going on 30.
Mm-hmm. Right
So
on. Vetta, what about
overall, I
you?
love the movie.
Oh, I love this movie. It's one of those movies that's like, it's silly. And because, I mean, I don't know about you, but in my life as a kid, I never wanted to be 30 because 30 was old. I
Mm.
wanted to, I mean, and she wants to be 30 because she sees it in the magazine that it's fashionable, flirty, 30, whatever she
Right.
chants in the closet. I never wanted to be 30. I wanted to be like 21, 22. So I just love that it's like she wants to be a grown-up, responsible adult. And I'm like, that's just crazy. It's a fun, silly movie. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. What about you?
Oh, I'm just gonna piggyback on you two. I love this movie. It is so much fun. Um, it's nonsensical because it's got magic in there, but it's at the same time, who cares? Who cares? I had a good time watching it and rewatching and everything. Okay, so As been talking, so the movie starts out with Jenna Rink. What a horrible last name. Now
Right?
she wants to be like one of the popular girls, which I love their names. What was their names? That was like the Six Chicks. I love that. I
Yeah.
loved it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love how later on when she joins the Six Chicks, I was like, what did they call themselves then? Like the Seven Chicks?
No, if you see the picture, there's only six. They booted
Ooh.
somebody out.
Oh, I should have paid attention
Yeah.
closer to that because
You
now I want to know
should.
who got the boot. Was it
If
Brie Larson? Because Brie Larson is one of the Six Chicks, and I was like, oh,
I didn't go back and look, but when she's flipping through the yearbook, there's multiple pictures and there is only six girls. So
that's
somebody got the
great.
boot.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah, somebody got booted.
Yeah. So, and then she's got her best friend, Matt, who is a little tubby. And then the sixth chick is ran by Tom Tom, which is, what's her name? Lindsay? Lindsay
Yeah.
Lisa? Yeah, something like that. Anyways, so she asks them all to come to her
Well, can
birthday
I
party.
ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
So her name's Lucy. Why is she called Tom Tom in middle school?
That's a great question.
'Cause
I have
that's
no,
the
I have
dumbest
no
nickname I've
answers
ever
for
heard
you.
in my life.
I have
I
no
don't think
answers for
they
you.
explained it
They
either.
didn't. The only thing we get is later on, she was like, "Hey, Tom Tom." She's like, "Nobody's called me that since middle school." And I was like, "Oh, you crazy kids."
Right? The funny thing about skipping from like 13 to 30 too is you like miss all of the like weirdness of your 20s where
Right.
you like figure yourself out. So she went from like teenager who arguably they don't know anything about
Yeah.
themselves to like
Yeah.
30 where you like have it kind of figured
Yeah. You're
out.
pretty much
She
there.
got like and then she got like none of the in between. So it's really funny when she like jumps into the
And she
future and
didn't
she's
have one
like,
of those like butterfly effects where her brain got all of the
yeah,
information.
Mm.
right.
She just was there.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it.
She's just like, I don't know how to pay bills. Shopping. Anyways. So, okay.
Yeah.
So okay, so the Tom Tom's all like, well, we'd love to come to your party, but we have this project to do. And then Jenna's all like, well, I could do your homework for you. And they're like, great, we'll be there.
Did
And
you
so
ever, and I'm sorry, I have lots of questions because
go
this middle
ahead.
school part is crazy. Did you ever offer to do someone's homework
No,
so they'd be your friend? I never
no.
offered to do anyone's homework because I don't like to do my own.
Right.
No, what I did was, let's say you had like a worksheet and there was like 20 questions. You
Hmm.
do like different ones than your friends, and then you get
Mhm.
together with your friends, and that your friend did like 1 through 5, and you did like 6 through 10, and somebody else did, and then you get together and you'd be like, "What'd you
And you
get?
always
What'd
had
you
that
get?"
one friend that everybody was like, I did hers because, she's sometimes gets them right and
Yeah,
sometimes she doesn't.
right. Yeah, we like help them out. I
Yep.
didn't have parties like they did in middle school either, where they're like, go in the closet with this boy. Like
Yeah,
I wasn't invited to those parties.
yeah, yeah. But I love, I loved when she's like when she's doing her makeup and everything, I was just like, oh, that's a lot of makeup, honey. But at the same time, I'm like, what is this, the 80s and everything that it takes place in? So I was like, it's totally fine. And I love when she's kissing the TV to that the Jesse's girl. And I love how she kisses it, and right then her like parents burst in with a
And her dad
big
never
ass camera. We used to own one of those too. That thing was huge. I was like, memories
Over the shoulder.
over the
Yeah.
shoulder.
and it
Yeah,
fit the full-size VHS tape in it. And your dad
yeah,
would
Hell
be
yeah.
recording and be like, wait, I gotta switch tapes.
right.
You
And
could
I
literally pull it out and put it in the
Yeah,
VHS tape.
exactly. And I love how his mom's all like, "Are you wearing a bra and everything?" And it's because she stuffed her
Yep.
titties and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's embarrassing, everything. And I love how she just like plummets on the bed because I was like, oh yeah, we've all been there before. Where we're just like, and then I can't remember what her mom says, but she gives her some advice or whatever. And then she just stuffs her bra again. And I'm all like, well, I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a girl. I know, surprise. But what's up with the stuffing the bra? Like, wouldn't it just all look like just tissue in your
I
shirt?
never had to do that. I didn't go from like flat chested to training bra. I went from, oh, I'm 11 to, oh, I'm
Boobs.
12. And boobs just
Gotcha. The
appeared.
only thing
Full
I've
size
ever,
grandma bra because they don't
oh,
make cute ones for big boobs.
I
Or
will
at
have to
Yeah,
least
I
say
they
had
though,
didn't
the
back
same
then.
issue. I had the same issue. I went from, oh my gosh, you're 10 training bra budding to like C cup to like where I am now.
Yeah.
That
gotcha,
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was like by the
gotcha.
time I was 14, it was like full on women boobs. There are no cute bras. Like all my
Yeah.
friends had like the cute little training bras, and here I've got the beige grandma full coverage thing going
Yeah.
Right
on.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I've ever like stuffed tissue in is I had to pack my ass one time because I was afraid I was gonna shit my pants. So I was like I
Oh my God.
gotta be prepared, you know what I'm saying? So okay. So anyways, so it comes the time of the party and I love that she's in the basement learning the Thriller dance because we've all been there before. Am I right, guys? Yeah, we've all
For
been there.
real.
We're doing the Thriller
For
dance.
sure.
We're watching the Thriller tape. We're rewinding. We're like, what's that move and everything? Loved it.
How did we slide? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then I love when Matt comes over because I don't know about you guys, but I loved Matt's gift that he gave her. And he gave her this because he's like, you know how you wanted a what did he say, Barbie dream house? He's like,
Mhm.
well, it's a
Mhm.
Jenna dream house. And then it was a tiny bit creepy when he's all like, this is your bathroom where you're in the bath. And I was like, don't be weird, Matt. Don't be weird, okay? You started off all right, and then you just went a little bit downhill with that one and lost a few points.
You couldn't just have her in her room sitting on the floor reading a teen
Or
people.
had not have her in there at all. Like I was just like, maybe you shouldn't cut out pictures of people's heads and put them in dollhouses. It's just weird.
Yeah.
But then I did. What did you guys think about his little dollhouse? Because I listen as someone personally, like I love dioramas and stuff like that. So the fact that he like did all these like little intricate things, I was just like A plus all the way around. Like I would have sucked you off right then and there if it was me. But what did you guys think about his gift?
He was so sweet. Like it's super thoughtful. Like I'm the type of person that like if you put time and effort into a gift versus like here's a gift card, I'll appreciate that a lot more. So, but having just hosted a 13-year-old's birthday party, these are some 16-year-old looking ass 13-year-olds.
Vetta, what did you think about his gift?
I
Thoughtful,
loved
right?
it.
Yeah, I'm so
I loved
thoughtful.
it
Yeah.
because I don't know about you, but I feel like now as an adult, like I grew up in like a nice suburban bubble of like I can remember being 12 and 13 and still playing with Barbies. So I would have
Hmm.
loved a dream house. We were poor. There was no Barbie dream house in our future. There was the Barbie trailer park, you
Mm.
know.
Right on. So the part about this that's the big point is that he picks out this packet of wishing dust, which I was like, well, where was that when I was 13? And he sprinkles it on the dollhouse or whatever and tells her to make a wish and all that stuff and everything. So then she makes her wish, but of course the wish doesn't come true because she didn't get hit with the wishing dust, right? So she's all like, the friends show up, the evil six, or the six chicks, the
And
six
why
chicks,
is it that she only invites the six and then
and
they invite the boys? Where's the rest of the school? She went to a pretty good sized school.
yeah,
Where's the
that's a
rest of the kids?
yeah. Where's all the geeks and shit?
Yeah.
They had to have a friend group and everything.
Right, and she only invited the like the mean chicks. Like
Yeah,
again, just hosted a 13-year-old's birthday party. There was two of the popular mean girls, and the rest of them were like all of her actual friends.
right.
Yeah.
Other than Matt, where are your actual friends, homie?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So he gives her the dollhouse and she's all like, "Hey, why don't we put this in the closet?" Right? And she puts it up on the shelf or whatever. And
So
that's
people
that's
can dance.
yeah, so people can dance. And that's a main focal point of this first part because that sets the whole thing in motion, right? So then the evil six come in, right? And they're downstairs and everything. And I'm just saying right now, Matt was busting a rug. I was all
Oh
proud of
my
him.
God. Yes.
His dance moves were awesome. I don't know
Do
what
you
they're
not remember middle school dances? Boys did not dance at middle school dances. It was
Hmm,
just girls dancing and boys standing on the perimeter watching.
not me. I was
Um,
dancing. I
Oh
was
no,
totally
not
fine with
you.
That's
Well, you're
that's
practically a girl,
too that
so
he
you know
liked
it.
her.
yeah.
That's that's like it.
I don't think so. I thought he was just having a good time. He's all like, "Hey, I'm here
I
for the
think he
party. We're gonna
I think
party."
he was just happy with who he was and he was living his best life.
And I just say her snack table was freaking awesome. I was like, those
Right?
snacks looked amazing and everything. And her,
Whoever
A
does the
plus.
meals in movies where they're like, "Here, I made you this delicious breakfast," and it's like, or like,
right?
"Here, I made snacks for your party," and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah, like later on she's eating pancakes that looks like an exalata and everything. I was like, look at you, mom, making fancy.
right?"
I was like, if I do that crap, it just looks like, Leatherface or whatever. So okay, so the girls they decide they're gonna trick Jenna because Chris Grundy has come over and that's her crush. She just loves Chris Grundy. I just want to be honest with you. I didn't think Chris Grundy was that good looking. I was like, I want to fuck him. But so they're all sitting there and she's like, why don't we play 7 minutes in heaven? I was like, we've all been there before, am I right? And I still do it every Sunday night. It only takes me 7 minutes. Anyways, she goes, she blindfolds her, which I was all like, "Ugh, if somebody would have blindfolded me, I'd be like,
I was
your
like,
story's not tracking.
yeah, I don't remember the minute they blindfolded her. I'm like, that's not how 7 minutes
And
in heaven
and you
works.
don't meet the person in there. They come in there with you. That's how that
Yep.
works. Yeah, yeah. I was like, you
And then
already,
Send you
everybody stands out the door
together.
and listens. Like,
yeah,
what are they doing?
Yeah. Like
yeah.
they send
So
you in together and then it's like and then they turn off the light.
exactly. That's the whole
When
thing.
you
Because
get down to like 10 seconds, they're like, get everything you need to get done.
yeah,
10, 9.
9. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so they put Jen in the closet, right? And she's waiting for Chris. But Matt comes in because they're all like, let's get out of here.
They
I
stole
think
the snack.
yeah, they did. Yeah, fuckers. And she's all like, okay, she's like, where's the project at? And she's like, it's on the table. And then she's like, I think my brother can get us some beer. And I was like, ooh, look at you and everything. So they're stealing the snacks and they're leaving. Matt comes over because he went to go get something I can't remember.
Keyboard, his
Oh
Casio.
his Casio, yeah, or some Razzles. Anyways, well, we'll talk about those in a little bit. But so then he comes in and she's waiting for you in the closet, and he opens up the door and she's all like, Chris, and he's like, Chris, and she's like, Matt, what are you doing? You're ruining everything and everything. And she kicks him out and locks the door, and he's like, open the door, and she's butting her head up against the shelf, okay, and the wish dust starts falling on her, and she's like, I wish I was dirty, flirty, and skirty or whatever the fuck it is. And she fast forward, like you guys said, like 14 million years of her life. And she wakes up in her apartment. And while she's sitting there, she's looking great though, by the way. I just want to say right now, she's got that little slip, whatever on and everything. Looks great. And I love how she I love when she turns to look at the mirror and she's like, whoa, and then she falls backwards, and I'm all like, man, you have reacted way too weird to that.
Dude,
Um,
it's part of the female protagonist fall thing that always happens.
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Always.
Um, so I love when she's checking out her face in the mirror because she's like over exaggerating. She's all like grabbing at her face, and then she's
And
like feeling on her boobies, which I would do too if it was me. But and then
girls
I
would do that if they became a girl. That's the
yeah,
first thing they would do. Nobody wants to feel man boobs, but for some reason they love female boobs.
right, exactly,
Dude, for
exactly.
real, if I woke up tomorrow in Jennifer Gardner's body, like not Jennifer Gardner from the movie, Jennifer Gardner now, I'd still be like, "What's up?"
What?
You
I'd be
know?
like, woo,
Right.
look at me.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So while this is so while this is going on, her boyfriend, who is a hockey player, is walking around in the apartment with nothing but a towel on. And so he jumps in the shower and everything. One thing that really bothered me in this part was he kept calling her sugar bum. And I was like, what a dumb fucking nickname. If I was a human being, I would be like, stop calling me sugar bum. It's a stupid
He's
fucking
a
name.
hockey player. He's been hit in the head too many
Well,
times.
you need to figure
Okay.
out something else, okay? Think of something else sweet, okay? And stop saying bum. Ugh, what a horrible word, okay? So, because every time he said it, I was just like, why are you calling? Stop that! You stop that right now! Don't call her sugar bum. What a dumb fucking name. Call her sweet love or something. But also while this is going on, her cell phone's ringing, which she doesn't know what a cell phone is yet because they don't have those. And so the hockey player comes out of the shower and she's like, you're naked. He's like, not yet. And he whips it out and everything. And I'm all like, is this assault technically? I'm just gonna say. And so she leaves her apartment and rushes out onto the street where her bestie is waiting for her,
Yep.
Lindsay. Okay.
Lucy.
Lucy, that's what I said. I said it in French. That's why you couldn't understand it.
Tom Tom.
So yeah, Tom Tom.
But we don't know it's Tom Tom at this point
That's
in
true.
the
That is true. I didn't know it was Tom Tom either. I just was like, whatever about it. So she takes her to their job, And that is at Poise Magazine, which, by the way, she's been looking at Poise Magazine throughout this entire episode. She's got it up on her mirror, some pages from it or whatnot,
Yep.
and everything. So she works at Poise Magazine, where she's like a editor or whatever.
Yep.
So they
Which
have. Go ahead.
which like pretty great for her to like, let's just assume, she went through autopilot for the last 17 years. She got her dream job going on autopilot. So good job, girl.
Yeah, get it. So I love when they first off. So they go in there, and Richard, her boss, is played by Gollum, and the whole time I kept saying, man, Gollum's teeth are gross. So and I just kept every time he smiled, and I was just like, ew, don't smile anymore, you're gross. And I kept waiting for him to go, Smeagol, what's the matter, Smeagol? I was just like, do it, Andy Serkis, but he didn't do it. Okay, so they have a meeting, and he's like showing their arch rival competitor Sparkle, which I was like, man, what a dumb fucking name for a magazine. I wouldn't read Sparkle. So and he's all like, they keep getting our cover, they keep getting our scoops and everything. And we're somebody here is telling them what we're doing and everything, which we find out later that it is Jenna that's doing it, but she doesn't know because she doesn't remember all this nonsense. So, so Jenna, she is confused by this whole thing. She's just like, I don't know what's going on. So she decides that she gets her like receptionist lady to find Matt. And she goes to Matt's apartment, and she finds him, and she talks to him and everything.
And he's like,
And
why the fuck did you come here? We're not friends.
right,
Right.
exactly. And I love how when she's all like, you were right there, and then I was in the closet, and then boom and everything, and he's all like, hey, crazy lady, like what you doing? I was like, I just want to be like, if you were not so attractive, he would have slammed the door like right away.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, so just
There is
be
privilege with beauty.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I love how when she goes, Matt, it's me, and he's like, yeah, I know it's fucking you, Jenna. I'm like, how can anybody forget you? You look at your face, honey. So then I love how she goes in, and she's like, oh, this is your apartment? Gross. So um well, at least it was fine. It was fine. So she's like, yeah, you're still taking pictures because he's a photographer. That's a big part of it or whatever. So she finds out that they're not friends anymore. And and uh and so then I'm not quite sure where I can't quite remember what happens after that. So
He takes her back to the apartment. She
yeah, yeah,
starts
yeah.
flipping through the yearbook.
Yeah,
She
okay.
gets the phone call about the limousine arriving at 8:30, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go because it looks like you're back to your old self."
Yeah, right. And this is where we find out that Lucy is Tom Tom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So she is trying to like, get used to this whole being 30 and everything. And that she's not she's going through her photographs and stuff, and she looks that she went from, this shy, like, not having boobs teenager to or preteen to, she became
Prom queen.
popular. Yeah, and she went to the prom with what was his name? Grundy, Chris
Chris
Grundy.
something.
Chris Grundy, which he pops up later. Ew, he's
He's
gross.
Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, it's Jim
I
Gaffigan.
love
Yeah. Um,
it.
Watching this movie, I was like, you bring up Brie Larson and Gaffigan and Smeagol and stuff. I'm like, dude, this was a for like early 2000s like rom-com-y-ish, chick movie. Like they got a bunch of stars in this.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's got a great cast.
hmm So, okay. So then, we have a party. Okay, and that is, it's like I don't know what exactly it's for. The party's for. I don't know if you guys got what it was for.
It's the magazine is throwing a party with Bloomingdale's. I'm assuming Bloomingdale's is doing some kind of spread or something or launching something and they're hosting
They
it
were
for
doing
them.
like that rebrand thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
the blue sales, and so they're trying to like, you
Yep.
know, stay
Right.
relevant or
Yeah.
whatever.
And I love the one woman that comes up. I do not remember her name, and she's all like, but she works for Sparkle, and she's like, I like to win, okay, and everything. And I was just like, yeah, yeah, she's gonna win. She's gonna beat your asses. Real quick, I just want to ask you guys a question because um, before they go to the party, sorry, I forgot to mention this. She's getting ready for the party, right? And she takes a shower and she's putting on her makeup and everything. And how did you guys feel about her makeup and the dress that she chose to go to the party? By the way, I just want to say right now, her closet, my dream, my dream.
For sure.
Like it was
Oh my
two walls, the shoe rack. I was like, why did they put this shit in movies? Because they're just like making us feel bad about our lives. Like I mean, I'm married to a girl, but I have like one small space in the closet. That's all I get and everything. And I'm like, I would like, a huge closet,
Your
but
own closet.
exactly.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think about her makeup and her dress that she chose?
That dress is super cute. I love, like you said, everything about her closet. The makeup was the right amount of like kidsy, because when you see like a 13-year-old try to do like makeup, it doesn't look professional. But makeup has also changed a ton even since like this movie came out. I feel like you could still pull off this look though.
Yeah.
Right on. Vetta, what did you
Yeah,
think about her look?
I like the dress, but my favorite thing about her entire outfit is that big ass butterfly necklace.
Yeah.
That is spectacular because that is showing she's still mentally 13 in a 30-year-old's body. Because you take that necklace off and that dress and the hair and everything, I think would be fine for a 30-year-old, but you stick that necklace on and it ties it all together and you remember she's 13 and then you remember, oh yeah, she did her hair all 80s, her makeup is 80s, the dress
hmm
is probably the closest thing in that closet to like 80s, even though it wasn't. That's totally an early 2000s dress. I love it.
Yeah,
That
it was.
butterfly necklace is spectacular.
Yeah, I
Like
did not.
butterfly clips.
I did not like this look, but at the same time, I was fine with it because I was like, this is early 2000s, and this is a look that a girl would wear in the early 2000s. So I was like,
For
it's
sure.
fine. The thing that you'll get this, I don't know if you'll get this, Kate. She reminded me so much of Kate Beckinsale from Tiptoes, the movie Tiptoes. Like,
The
I
hair for
love,
sure.
hate that movie.
Yep.
yeah.
I love slash hate that movie. It's
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, we reviewed it, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Well, hello, Kate Beckinsale. Where's your little friend?"
Because it's the hair, isn't it?
It's the
Yeah,
hair. It's the
it's
Yeah.
hair.
the hair because of the, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I gotta watch your guys' review of Tiptoes because
yeah,
that movie, dog shit.
yeah, right. But and then she gets in the elevator with Becky, her neighbor and everything. She's like, "Hi, I'm Jenna." And she's like, "Yeah, I know." And I'm like, "Hey, stalker, calm down." And everything. I love
Right.
how they just like become besties like in a second. And she's like, "I have plenty of bags. You can come check out all my bags." I'm like, "Don't offer that to a child and
A
I
everything."
know.
30-year-old inviting a
Right.
13-year-old into her
Yeah.
apartment,
I go
that's not safe.
I also want to say this would only work for a female because if a man did this to a younger boy, it'd be like, "Hey, weirdo, just like calm it down, fucker."
Yeah, but also
Especially
at
if he
the
said,
same
come look at
time,
my bags.
Right.
but at the same time, eventually, because later, spoiler alert, like she has a slumber party with that girl and a bunch of her like 13-year-old friends.
They do, which I love that
Who
slumber
were the
party.
parents? I love the scene. But at the same time, I'm like, who's the parents being like, yeah, I'm gonna go over to my neighbor. She's 30. There's a
I'm gonna
17-year-old
drag my 8
baby.
other friends whose parents dropped them off here, but we'll be
Yeah,
next door at the 30-year-old's house.
Right on.
she's got
Okay.
a hockey boyfriend who's sometimes in the nude.
Right, right. So, okay, so going back to the party. So people are leaving the party at 11 o'clock at night, which I'm all like, sounds like bedtime to me. So they're at the party and everybody's leaving. And I love Jenna's like 11 o'clock on a weekday and I'm at a party and she's like, yeah, and everybody's leaving. So, I don't know about you, but when she gets ready to do the Thriller dance and they do like this almost bird's eye view of the party, it just looked like a dance to me. I was like, this just looks like homecoming. It doesn't look like and everything. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe your party just sucks. So then they go. So then he's the Gollum is all like, everybody's leaving. You have to do something. And Jenna's all like, well, yeah, they're playing this crappy music. And I was like, I don't remember what they were playing. So she just
Elevator music, I
yeah.
swear it sounded
So
like.
so
Yeah.
she decides to get him to play Thriller, right? And this is where we get the biggest dance number of it, but not the only one. And she
Mhm.
starts doing
And
the
Matt magically showed up after
yes, good,
everything that
yes.
happened. He still shows up.
Yes, because he invited her. And I love how she's dancing and everything, and everybody's just like watching her like, yeah, yeah. And then she's like, Matt, come dance with me. And he's like, no, and everything. And so they start dancing. And I love how in these movies, whenever there's a dance number, and when I say I love it, I mean I really do love it.
Yeah.
I love how everybody automatically knows the dance. Like even the
Oh,
receptionist knows the dance. Like they all just automatically learn it just like that.
It's
And
Thriller. I feel like they picked one that literally everyone knew because in the 80s and 90s, everyone was practicing and learning that when they
I mean,
were in middle school-ish age
I
anyway.
danced it at my prom.
Yeah.
right on. I mean, I will give you it because it's Thriller, but I'm just like, man, some of these people just knew like it exactly. Like even the dorky lady with the glasses, I was like, wow, how do you know Thriller? Um, it was like Jane from accounting. So they're all dancing and I'm assuming they save the party because everybody started dancing the Thriller. I'm like, I don't get it how you would save the party, but you know what? Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Magic in movie land.
Magic in movie land, right? Um hold on, I missed my notes.
So her boss is in love with her because she saved the party.
Right on.
Yeah,
Okay, so then she
which was like a big deal for him.
right
Yeah.
on. Yeah, and we also get the scene with hold on, where I'm reading my notes right now.
Do,
Oh
do, do,
no, where is
do,
it?
do,
That I will
do,
fucking murder
do,
you.
do, 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 do,
Oh,
do,
that
do.
scene.
Yeah, that's the
Hold
one.
on. Scrolling in my notes too. Hold
Okay.
it. Oh, wait a minute.
So, okay. Well, now I just need to look it up now because sorry, now I have to edit this out. Oh, I'm so annoyed right
Do you though? It makes for great podcasting
now.
with people
Does it?
listening
Does
to
it?
dead air.
Everybody loves it. Everybody loves
Yeah.
it. It's the
The
best.
dead air is the best.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So good.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Right on. So she's doing her job or whatever, and she's living her best life, and she goes to drinks with Tom Tom, aka Lucy. And I love the scene where they're at the restaurant. And she's all like, that guy over there has been staring at you for the past like 15 minutes. And she's like, the cute one. She's like, mm-hmm. And she walks over to the table with the like 13-year-old boy. And she's all like, I just want to know if I could get your number and everything. And she's like, yeah, we have to go. Not that one, that one. And she's like, what do you want to do? Get
Yeah.
arrested? And she's like, the old guy? Ew. And everything. So funny. So good. So good.
What
Uh,
and her friend knows that she's like in a relationship and she's like, cheat on him, get this
mm.
guy.
He's
Like,
like,
you
you're
know?
not married yet.
Yeah, she's even Jenna is sleeping with like Jane's husband, and I'm all like, what are you doing here? And the thing is, the husband that she was sleeped with, Jane's husband or whatever, he was not hot at all. Like I was like, why are you fucking him? There's no point to this. You're gonna just fuck ugly dudes now? Like
Right. And we go on this journey of like finding out that she's kind of crappy with
yeah.
her because she's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be 30. And then you're like, boom, she's 30. And then you don't realize, like, oh, this is all the crappy stuff she had to do to like
Yeah.
get where
Get where
she's
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 a
at.
at.
shitty person.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's the worst.
she's a
Yeah.
shithole of a person. So
And you
she
can see the epiphany of like when she's figuring out that she's a bad person and she is
Mhm.
like super
mhm,
shocked. Like,
Yeah.
right on. Fill me in if I go a little too far or whatnot. So so we find out that she finds out through Lucy because Lucy is telling a coworker around the corner, she's all like, oh, she stole Crystal's ideas. And then when she stole her ideas, she then fired her because she got promoted.
Yeah.
And so she gets really upset and she goes back to her childhood home where her parents live. And her parents aren't there, but she goes down to the basement. She's trying to knock her head up against the wall so she can try to get the sparkle dust on her again. And her parents come home and she spends the night with them, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought this part was kind of charming when she gets into bed with her mom
Mhm.
and everything, and I liked that a lot and everything. I just thought that was fun.
That was really cute. And just like from a girl's perspective, sometimes when like life gets you down and you're in your 30s, sometimes you just want to like be a little kid again. And especially with somebody who's like
Yeah.
already in their 13-year-old brain, it makes sense that she'd want to like go back to the comfort of her
And
home.
as a mom, there is nothing more amazing than when you're just sitting on the couch and your grown child comes and just lays their head on your lap and snuggles
Mhm.
up to you. You're just like, oh, wait,
Oh.
what's happening? Don't say anything. Don't spook it. It might run
Right.
Yeah.
away.
Right on. Another thing that I really liked was, and I'll rewind just a minute in just a minute, but I liked also the breakfast that they have the next day, and I like how she made her like, I think it was a son, but I thought it was an axolotl
Yeah.
when I saw it at first. But and she asked her mom, she's like, was there ever a mistake, like a big mistake that you could take back? And she's like, no. And she's like, I know I made some mistakes, but I think she said something like, those
It makes you
mistakes
who you
let,
are.
yeah. So. I think that that was a good scene too. I just liked it.
Yeah, it's a cute. I love those like little heart to hearts that are like little life lessons that they're sprinkling in there. Because
Right
that's the
on.
life lesson that she would have learned from her mom, you know, during that time before she got to 30. But now
Hmm.
she's having it at 30.
Right on. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go back because while all this is going on, they are needing to do a complete rebrand of the magazine, right? And
Hmm.
I just want to say one thing about it because I loved how she put the fruit roll up around her finger and then was chewing it off of her finger. And
Yeah.
I was like, can you just act like an adult for 2 seconds and everything? You don't have to always act like an asshole, right? And then I also wrote down I loved the scene where she went to Matt's apartment and she was hanging out with Matt for a little bit.
Hmm.
And she was and then this is where we get razzles. So razzles are these like candy, but it's like gum and every have you guys ever had razzles?
Yes.
I have. Yeah.
Are razzles real?
Yes, they're real.
Are, are they real? Did we get Berenstain Bears?
Maybe, maybe no, they are real. I can see right here. Oh, they look delicious. Anyways, so she's talking to Matt and everything, and of course, and by the whole time, Matt, by the way, is getting married. He's getting married, and she just gets so while she's at her parents' house, she's looking at these old photographs of like just like football players and her yearbook, and like she's looking at like dances and stuff like that, and she gets a great idea for the rebrand. And I love the scene where she gets in the elevator with Lucy and Lucy's all like, "Hey, I hope you don't mind, but I'm working on the rebrand brand idea by myself." And she's like, "That's okay. I am too." And I'm like, "Yeah, Lucy, suck it," and everything. And she hires Matt to film or to take pictures of her all her pictures for her rebranding idea, which is like graduation or whatnot and everything.
Okay, can I just say, first of all, Lucy's rebranding idea is psychotic. Like
Oh, I
she
would,
needs to
yeah,
see a therapist.
yeah,
And everyone gets way too excited about Jenna's
I
idea because
agree.
Jenna's idea to me is just like it's something someone would come up with for like a class reunion.
I agree with you 100%. I had the same almost the same exact thoughts. Like her whole fashion suicide. I was like, you might as well commit suicide, honey. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest
It was
idea
so
I've ever.
bad.
It
It
was
was dog
terrible.
shit. Yeah.
It was
Yeah, what'd
I was
she
like,
call it? Heroin, fat, something. And I was like, to do with heroin. And I was like, what are you talking
Yeah, she's like,
about?
we are gonna go overload in fashion. I was like, yeah, but all this shit looks dumb, yo. It looks
It,
like
it
looks like
looks bad
yeah, I was like, it's like Mad Max Thunder Road, but like with like highlights and shit. I'm like, it's so weird. I was like, what were you thinking? This is a bad idea.
because we know that Jenna was like secretly doing stuff behind the scenes, but like Tom Tom wasn't trying to like sabotage it on purpose until like the end when she was like doing
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
Yeah.
also her fashion by suicide thing was or fashion suicide, whatever. Her idea, I also was just like, this looks like a serial killer's notebook. Like you should have like I'm like this, you just took magazine's cut out an eye and put it on another model's eye.
It's
I'm
the
like,
ransom note
yeah,
and the
yeah,
finger.
that's what a psycho does. Yeah, the ransom note and bodyguard, you know what I'm saying? It's like don't be weird, Lucy, okay? So I'm like, you're a bitch, but you're not a weird bitch and everything.
right?
So Matt takes the pictures for her ideas. And Betta, I'm in the same boat with you because when I saw it, I was like, this looks like she's doing a yearbook, because and everything. I was like, she's doing it on poster board. I was like, what is this, a class project, honey?
That's what I
Um,
mean. This totally looks 80s and it definitely looks like a 13-year-old did it.
right, yeah. So, but they decide to go with it. So, um, Lucy, she's pissed. She's like, I am freaking pissed. And Jenna's happy or whatever. But Matt shows up because he leaves his fiance because his fiance wants him to move to Chicago with her because she's like the weather woman or something like that. I'm like, oh, look at you. So he goes to Poise to meet with Jenna. And while he's there, Lucy is in her office, by the way, being totally rude, going through her stuff. And that's where we find out that Jenna is the one leaking stuff to Sparkle. Sparkle Man. What a dumb fucking name for a magazine, Sparkle.
It's so bad. It's they might as well have just called it glitter.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah, right. And like that Mariah Carey movie.
It's
Um,
that
totally like, and
really
Sparkle, every time I hear the name, all I think about is glamour shots. It just
mm,
comes into my head the minute they
glamour
say Sparkle.
shots. Oh,
I'm
that's
like,
yeah.
it's
so
like
good.
glamour
Oh,
shots
that's
of
good.
the
I love
magazine
that. I love
world.
that. So, Jenna tells Matt that oh she didn't use any of your pictures for her presentation, and then she convinces him to sign over the photos to her, and then she takes those photos over to Sparkle, and Sparkle then hires her as editor or something like that. And I'm like, and
And
then
they're going
it,
to use Jenna's idea.
yeah, exactly. So then while this is all going out on, Jenna just kind of like regroups or whatever, and she heads over to New Jersey or wherever the fuck they're from to go talk to Matt. And she gets in a cab, and that's where we get to see adult Chris Grundy, who is played by Gaffigan.
Yep.
And he is I don't know, would you guys fuck Gaffigan?
Depend on what my options were. I mean,
It's
he makes me laugh.
it,
like, ah, look at that.
right. It all comes down to the personality at the end of the day, but like just on looks,
Mm,
no,
Does
no.
it come down to personality? I mean, looks play a big part. I
I mean,
mean,
even Jim Gaffigan makes fun of his looks and like people send him a picture of their elbow and go, look, it looks like Jim Gaffigan.
that's funny.
So,
That's funny.
Poor
Oh,
guy. He's like hired
mm.
just because he's like the Ugo guy, you know?
which is
Right.
funny because he has
Oh,
a wife and 5 kids and lives in New York City. So he's laughing all the way to the bank. He's
for
like,
sure, for
ah.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
Personality. You can make somebody laugh. You got a good personality. Make 5 kids. Boom.
Yeah.
yeah. Right on.
And millions of dollars as a comedian making fun of yourself. So, hey,
Hey,
Exactly. So the wedding is the next day, and so
in his
she's
parents'
in
backyard,
his
which
parents' backyard.
is
Yeah.
next door to her parents.
Right. And so she shows up and she goes into his room and everything, and she's like gives him the whole speech about how, like, I messed it all up. I'm sorry. You were such a good friend to me and everything. And I'm just like, so, yeah, if I was him, I'd have been like, so can I get a tuggy and everything?
You're like,
Or
I know my
so
bride's in the room next door, but
yeah,
those
listen,
are some
hey.
jeans. They'll cover up the
Yeah,
bruising of the knees.
exactly, exactly. So he's basically like, no, I've made, he's like, I loved you and everything, but I've made my choice and everything. And so he's all like, "Wait, I got to show you something." And so he pulls out the dollhouse, which by the way, I forgot to mention that she had thrown the dollhouse at him, and that's how their whole story changed was she came out of the closet not like that. And she doesn't listen to a song and which by the way I wanted to hear that song, but she
Right?
throws the dollhouse at him and then they don't they're friends never again. But he kept the dollhouse and I think he fixed it up. I don't know.
Yep.
But she's all like,
Can I
Matt,
have it?
can I have it? And everything. He's like, yeah, and everything. By the way, I just want to say this whole time this is going on, I'm like, I can see the wish dust on the roof. I can see the wish dust.
Right?
And
So
I'm
she,
going, are the walls in this house super thick? Because it's an old house. I can't imagine that the bride in the next room can't hear all of this
they
shit
like
going
it
down.
thick, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she takes she takes the dollhouse out to the porch or whatever, and she's crying her face off, and the wind picks up for some magical reason, and it shoots the glitter all over her. I just hit my light. It shoots the glitter all over the place, and she's whisked back
Into the
to
closet.
into the closet. Not like that, guys. And Chris comes in and she's like, she jumps on him, and she kisses him,
Yes.
and yeah, Matt, sorry, Matt, and she's all like, "Come on, Matt, let's go," and everything. They and what's her face is coming down the stairs, and I love how she grabs the
She's coming to get
project,
her scarf.
yeah, her scarf and everything, and she's like, I love how she tears up the project. She's like, do your own project, biatch. And I was like, she told her and everything.
Mermaid, yeah.
Yeah. And then she like bops her drink. I was like, yeah, fuck you, and Tom. And then they head out the door where they become adults and they're getting married and happy ever after, whatever.
And they move into Jenna's dream house, which I have to say, if you're an adult and you move into a pink house, we need to have a conversation.
Yeah,
Me and
please.
my wife when we were moving into when we were house hunting or whatever, we totally looked at a pink house that I would have bought in a heartbeat, just repainted. But
Yeah.
and my wife, that was the one where my wife fell down the stairs at.
Oh,
Oh
I
no.
bring it up
She's
every
like, you can't buy this.
yeah. She was like, I'm embarrassed. We have to go now, and I'm like, okay, let's go and everything. But
What could have been if she didn't fall downstairs?
what could have been. Actually, it was actually a pretty nice house. But one thing I forgot to mention, you guys, and I wish I would have mentioned it, but I'm seeing it now. We have to talk about her sleepover with all the 13-year-old girls. I love this scene because I love how they're just sitting there and the one girl's all like, "Well, no boy can talk to me. I've got braces and curly hair." And she's like, "Well, not with that kind of attitude." She's like, "We are young. Our heart is a battlefield, or love is a battlefield, or whatever." Or what is it? What is
she's
it?
singing Pat
We
or
are
giving them
strong.
Pat Benatar
No
Yeah,
one
lyrics.
can tell us we're wrong. Yeah.
yeah. And I love how they're all like looking at her like she's a fucking guru and shit. They're like,
Yeah.
whoa, and everything. And then they start dancing to it. And I'm like, do you guys not put two and two together now and everything? I will have to say though,
She was
they're
quoting the song the whole time.
yeah,
What?
exactly right. But I will have to say though, I love their dance number. So good. I was like, yeah, ladies, yeah, do it. I love and like I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, okay, there's one scene where the girl where she's like they're shaking their shoulders at each other and everything. And the one girl has like the big frilly scarf or whatever. And as she's walking, another girl passes her and takes the scarf. And I swear, the girl that had the scarf that got to take it away, the look on her face when she took her scarf, like, bitch, you best be glad we're doing a scene right now because you just took my goddamn scarf. I was like, I see it. I can see it. She's
You're like,
pissed that her scarf.
cat fight is gonna break
Yeah,
out.
yeah. She's like, you better be glad we're doing a fucking movie right now. That was my goddamn scarf and everything.
That
Oh,
was in
it's
the
so good.
bloopers.
No,
That was in the bloopers. They had to edit that.
that was
Yeah.
Was there okay? Was there anything that I left out that you guys want to talk about? Any scene, any line, any character, anything?
No, I think we covered all the good scenes because
Mm.
it's like a pretty basic movie. It's like she wants to be 30, she's 30, she is a doe in headlights, and then she figures out what's happening and is like, oh no, I need to go back. I need to fix all the stuff I did wrong. Uh, it would have been a funny movie, like not like a really funny movie, but it would have been funny if she was just like stuck at 30 and had to like figure out your shit. It's
Right?
like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like,
welcome to life,
welcome to
girl.
exactly. And she's like, "What? I have to pay taxes?" And you're like, "Yeah, fucking sucks."
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wish you would have got that scene, like where she opened up her paycheck and been like, "Who the fuck's FICA?" You
Right,
know?
exactly, exactly, yeah, right, yeah, yeah, yeah. That would have been great too. I just love how she like just spends money like it's nobody's business, and you're just like, yo, you're gonna have an electric bill in a minute, and you better get ready, prepared, and
You're
every
like,
stuff.
your apartment in New York is huge. That costs a
That,
lot.
that
Don't
costs so
spend all
much.
that
Yeah,
money.
don't spend. Yeah,
right.
right.
When you were talking about her closets and her apartment and stuff, I was like, this girl's got it made because she lives in New York. She's got like a two-bedroom at least and huge closet space. I was like, that apartment alone, let's say she just rents it. That's like 6 grand a month,
Yeah, it's
homie.
so much, so much.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure that hockey boyfriend ain't helping out at all.
Well, I'm
So
pretty
I
sure he probably has his own place.
Probably. Like, I wish they would have touched a little bit on the receptionist because I felt like at the beginning of the movie, the receptionist had like, she had like some pretty hard, troubled times in that fucking magazine. I'm all like, I kind of would have liked to have seen her story. Like, I was thinking of like, and maybe I was thinking of another movie, but I thought at one point they were gonna go to like her house and like they like for some odd reason I remember a scene with eating ice cream on her couch, but must be another movie. But I was
I
all
was
like,
just gonna say that actress plays a receptionist
and
in
like every
so many
does she?
movies.
Does she?
Yes.
Because I'm just the whole time I'm just like, huh. I was like, I could have swore I remember a scene where they're like sitting on the
Like
curb that like,
Judy Gear, who plays Lucy, she
mm,
is always like the supporting actress in movies.
mm.
Like there are so many really good movies that she's just like the sidekick to. And it's the same with this receptionist. Like she's in so many movies where she's the receptionist, and you're just like, hey, I know her. She's a
I know.
receptionist.
Yeah.
Again.
Again, look at you, typecast.
Here you
So
are. Yeah.
what was the other thing? Oh, I also wanted to know because Lucy had taken the all the ideas of their rebrand or whatever.
Mhm.
Does that mean that the magazine went under? I was like, I would like to know that because and then when she went back to a kid and then became 30, at the end when they walked out the house, does she still work for Poise magazine? Like I these are
I would like to know.
yeah, I would like to know, like, or she all like, no, I want to be a mom now or whatever. I'm very curious as to what it is that she's doing now, or what she did different from her.
Yeah, because the ending is the one part that I didn't really care for. Like she walks, they're moving into her Jenna's dream house and they sit on a couch that's sitting in the lawn eating razzles. And I'm like, no, bitches, I need an update on what is her life, what went different, because they clearly stuck together. So did she still become an editor? Does she work for it, or does she work for the stupid local town newspaper? Or is she a fucking teacher? What is she doing? Like,
Right on.
It's not
because
just
that's the
about her
whole
and the
thing too.
man. Yeah. Because the
Yeah,
whole
because
movie was like her whole life. And then the ending is like, oh, she just ends up with this guy. The
yeah.
end.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
would
right,
she have gotten the same job if she wasn't mean and bitchy and stepping and
Mhm.
stealing, stepping on everyone, stealing their ideas and stuff? Could she have
Right.
even gotten the job at Poise?
right, exactly,
But it
exactly.
doesn't matter. She got a man, so now she's fine.
Yeah,
It
That
didn't
solves
matter.
all
Yeah.
her
yeah.
problems
Now she's
Yeah.
gonna have babies and be a mom and make bagels like she does on
in a pink
Instagram.
house.
Yes, yes, for sure. So, all right, you guys, was there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap this sucker up?
Do you want to tell your you met Jennifer Gardner story?
I have met
Oh,
Jennifer Garner before. Thank
what?
you for
Tell us.
reminding me. I have. All right.
Yes.
This is my I Met Jennifer Garner movie. Okay, so I don't know exactly what she was doing here, but I think she was in a movie with 50 Cent. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. All I know is my friend was in a movie down at the college that's down here, right? So I went down there because I was just like, oh, I'll come check it out, but I'm not going to stay or whatever. So I went there. Then I was walking back to my car. I was standing at the crosswalk to cross or whatever, and I was just waiting. And she steps next to me, right? She's standing next to me, and I'm just like not. I just look over and I was like, and everything, and like I'm freaking out, right? So I just go, "I love your movies," and she's like, "Oh, thank you." And then we cross the street, and now I tell people I met Jennifer Garner.
That's probably a great interaction though, because um you've listened to 8750 where I'm told
Hmm.
about me dating famous people and how my mom's like, "Oh my God, say a line." So the fact that you just were like, acknowledge I know you, I love your movies, thank you, and then you moved on with your day, that was probably great for her because you weren't like, ah, you know.
Mentally, though,
Right.
he was totally like,
Oh, I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I was just
Oh,
ready to
for
gush.
sure.
But I was like,
Oh yeah, I've been to Comic-Con. I get it where you're like, oh, you're on my
yeah, yeah,
TV,
yeah.
my TV,
You're
you're
like,
on my TV, you're on my TV.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're like, oh my God, I love you so much. But yeah, no,
you
that's
also want to tell the story of you actually created a flash mob dance at your prom.
gosh,
So
yes, I will.
you have done the whole real life. Because
We
I love it.
I always say real life isn't, where you go to the dance and everyone breaks out in the same dance. And
that
that's like,
is
it was for me.
That is true. Okay, so me and my twin brother, we had set up a couple of friends. And when I say a couple, like 15, 16 people, I can't remember exactly how many. And it was the song, it was an NSYNC song. I want to say It's Gonna Be Me. And we set up a dance to it from the music video, and then when that song came on we just started dancing to it, and it was pretty rad. But there weren't cell phones at that time, and so we didn't get it recorded, which was a bummer, but it was pretty rad. It was pretty rad at our
Yeah,
prom, at our prom.
but now for the rest of the life, there are some people that were at that prom that tell their kids, like, yeah, like their kids are like, that didn't doesn't happen. And they're like, it happened
Yeah,
to
that is a great point. That is a
Right.
great
Yeah,
point.
the story, like you're in the background of somebody else's story of
That would be,
being
I would
from.
love to, if that was the case, I would love that so much. I should have went to my 20-year reunion, then maybe hopefully somebody would have said that to me, but I didn't go, so not a possibility.
Yeah, the this movie's very like reunion-y because she's trying to relive her, she's still in her 13-year-old brain. You didn't go to your
Oh,
20. Did you go, Vetta, to your reunion? Because
Um,
my
so
10-year
they
came
didn't
in
really
too
have a
soon.
reunion for mine. It was more of just like a get together at like a bar in Grand Rapids, and I didn't go because I wasn't gonna go. I live too far away to just
Yeah.
pop in for people. Because my whole thing is if I wanted to like hang out with you and stuff, I would have put the effort in. And there's like my really good friend that I've known since like sixth grade. Like anytime that I'm in Florida or anything, I go by and we visit and things like that. And we
Right.
talk occasionally. But yeah, I'm kind of like,
Eh.
whatever.
Yeah.
Eh.
hmm. All right. One thing that I forgot to mention that I have in my notes that I forgot to mention during the podcast is I love that she was using the Lisa Frank folders while she was doing all her
Yes.
notes. That was fan.
Yes.
In fact, while she was doing, it, I was like, "Oh, I remember those." And my wife was all like, "Oh my God, Lisa Frank folders! I loved those." I was like,
And
"That's
she
pretty."
wrote her name in the top right hand corner of every piece
Oh
of
yeah,
paper she
that's
was
yeah,
taking notes
yeah,
on.
Yeah.
yeah. It
I
was
was like,
so
we've all
good.
been there.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Well, I just want to ask one
Beautiful.
more question. Overall, how do you feel about the movie, and would you recommend? Kate, we'll start with you.
Overall, I would recommend the movie if you're looking for a good chick flick to watch early 2000s. It's a little dated, but it's still fun. I love this movie. Um, yeah, thumbs up. It's not like the Godfather level cinema, but it's a good fun movie. I recommend it.
Vetta, what about you?
Yeah, 100% recommend it. I'm on the same boat as Kate. It's definitely screams early 2000s. It the only nice thing about it is there are some movies that were made at that time that you watch now and you're like, "Ew, I remember this being better." This one is still, it's just fun. It makes you smile.
Mm.
You're not going into it with some like epiphany of this is a life-changing movie. This is just a fun easygoing movie when you're just like looking for something to, I don't know, laid back too and not have to overthink and
Hmm.
still enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this movie. I thought it was so much fun watching it. Like it's like, you know how you watch so many movies and like they either suck or you're just like they're like, horror movies or whatever and everything. This was just a breath of
Yeah.
fresh air. Just like it was like just silly, but at the same time it was super cute and everything. I would recommend 100%. It was just a good time. It was a good time in my opinion. All right, you guys. Well then we're gonna wrap it up there. But before we go, Cait, where can everybody find you at?
I am at Nerd with a Cigar on Twitter. Sometimes I smoke a cigar and 8750 podcast with Yeti F.
Yeah, which I will leave the link for you guys in the description down below so you can find Cait and the podcast that she's on. She's a great co-host. But thank you so much, you guys, for listening and everything. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BS Drunk Pod to stay updated. If you do listen to us at Apple Podcast or on Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review, guys. We really appreciate it, and it does help us out immensely. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, like I mentioned before. So be sure to subscribe to us on there, and that is at YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, we do have a Patreon if you guys are interested with different levels and everything to suit whatever your needs are and all that good stuff. And the link for that will be in the description down below also. But most importantly, you guys, please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Bye.